Hi, I'm Dr. Lanisha Robinson, your host for Career and Technical Education, #Build a Future. As a career coach with the Classrooms to Careers initiative, I spotlight how educators, community partners, and industry professionals work together to close a skills gap across St. Lucie Public School District. Today, we're exploring how the International Business Program at Treasure Coast High School equips students with global business knowledge, real-world experiences, and hands-on learning that prepares them for college, careers, and leadership in a competitive international marketplace. Ms. Choppa, thank you for joining us today, and we have your students with us from Treasure Coast High School. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and then share your role at Treasure Coast.
Thank you for having us. My name is Maggie Choppa. I'm the international business teacher at Treasure Coast High School, Titan born, Titan bred. I'm actually the architect of Choppa Leadership, which is what International Business Academy is greatly known for.
I'm Juliana Alvarez. I am a senior at Treasure Coast High School, and I am the president of the Future Business Leaders of America.
Hi, good morning. My name is Vivian Lee. I am a senior at Treasure Coast High School, and I am also senior class president.
All right, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, Ms. Choppa, what should our parents and our community know about the importance of the International Business Program?
So the International Business Academy is not just a classroom. When people walk in, it's a boardroom, and students learn leadership. We develop leaders in our academy. So through various on-site leadership roles, we become a launch pad for their future. So they're not just future ready, career ready, college ready, they're opportunity ready. Okay. That's what International Business Academy does.
All right, and then what types of projects or let's say simulations do you run in your classroom to make sure to kind of help your students along that path?
Everything is real world based. So we could do anything from analyzing market data to pitching business challenges to creating solutions and debating solutions on real world problems. When you walk in my classroom, you'll notice that mission statements are everywhere. So every class has an individual mission. And from that, the classroom itself is run like a business. And that's the motto in our academy, is run yourself like a business and understand that the world is your playground. So when they graduate, go play.
And I must say, I've actually witnessed some of your students in action, whether it's in the on a business side or even in the classroom. When you walk in, it's almost like handshaking, eye contact, and it's like you can definitely tell. And your students are engaged. They're not just sitting there listening to you. It's like it's very interactive. So Juliana and Vivian, can you explain to me, tell us about some of the projects or collaborations that you all have had, opportunities you've had about being in the program?
So being in this program, it, as Ms. Choppa was saying, not only prepares you for the real world, we get to learn how to present ourselves, how to communicate with people, how to network. All these leadership opportunities that we get provided is amazing. It's something that every student, I believe, should have an opportunity to take. We have some projects that we do running our personal finances, which is not something a lot of parents sit down with them to do, a lot of teachers do with them. Having your personal statements run down is very important, especially in the future. How to budget your money, how to know how to take risks, all that stuff, financial statements, it's all super important.
And then adding upon to what Juliana said, it's all a part of something called Senior Success that we do this year. It basically breaks down every component within going to college, or if you want to go to a trade, or building up the finances in order to go to that career path that you would like to do. And overall, it's been one of the most helpful things that we could possibly do, because Ms. Choppa encourages all of us to apply for scholarships, apply to college, and with doing so, our academy so far has about $1.15 million in scholarships so far, just based off of Senior Success. So that right there shows the credibility of how well her programs work and how well her curriculum is.
And it's not only, it's more of an assignment that we have to do. So we are motivated, we strive to do that. It's not just like, oh, we have to do it for this. No, it's something that we know it's gonna impact us, and we all feel motivated and we all help each other because we're all a team. We always bring each other up, we're all leaders, and that's what this class consists of.
Now, are you all also involved? I know you all offer FBLA, right? Can you explain to me, and you can also chime in as well, what exactly is FBLA? How does that relate to back to the program, working on your leadership skill, your communication skills, your digital fluency?
Yeah, so Future Business Leaders of America, we expand with the community, we help the community. As Ms. Choppa mentioned, we do the food bank. So we donate toiletries, food bags, all to the school, to everybody. And it's just such a great experience because you're also networking, and we're running ourselves like businesses. We get to speak to people. We've done field trips to hotels, and we get to see the behind the scenes of how they work, how they run, how they take care of their customers. It's all such a great thing. Yeah.
And then in addition to that, like whatever we're doing within giving back to the community, or marketing, we're talking to everyone, and it's something that we give back to the community so well at, and like we have connections to the food pantry, and we do something called Snack Shack, and then we do so many opportunities and so many great things that we do within FBLA.
Okay, wonderful. Wow, I'm impressed. So what exactly is your future career?
I'm going into finance and marketing.
And I will be going into marketing and minoring in international business.
And Ms. Choppa, I know you have many success stories. Can you share with us just some examples of like some of the titles that your students, once they left your program, either gone into college or straight into entrepreneurship? Can you provide some examples?
Sure, I have students that are in Tokyo. I have students in South Africa who are finding sustainable materials to build different shoes, clothing, things of that. I have students manufacturing in Spain. One of our students who went to Yale and then did his MBA at Harvard, he's now in South Korea as a senior executive in Samsung. So I have students who have created businesses here in the Treasure Coast. I have students all over the United States. I have students who are, before they even step into college, have internships at international companies for every single summer of their college and are guaranteed jobs after college. So there's a wide range. Obviously, every single student needs to run themselves like a business. Every one of them deserves and receives an individual education plan. And when it's all packaged together, experience and professionalism beat GPA every single time. That's what we're looking for. That's what Florida's looking for. That's what St. Lucie County is looking for. It's going to build our workforce. It's going to impact our community. And so I would say to all businesses, please reach out, right? Host an intern. Be a guest speaker. Come be a mentor. Because you can either wait for that talent when they graduate, or you can be part of the process and help them grow.
And I know that, and I want our community, they're fully aware, especially with you all, so much communication, the leadership skill that you're offering. Basically, these are opportunities, like you mentioned, the internship. I mean, that connection period to the real world, that's amazing. Now, what kind of, I guess, technology platforms do you use, digital tools? Do you use any of that to make sure that your students are ready, especially at the international level?
So basically, Microsoft across the board, they are Excel worthy. They are doing Teams. They are doing shareware with Microsoft, a variety. We've brought in AI. They do Gemini. They use ChatGPT. They use Copilot. They receive their QuickBooks certification. They receive their entrepreneurship and small business certification. So everything is presented. So when you wrap this all together, it's about that communication. It's about that experience. And overall, it's about professionalism, and we need more of that. Okay. And to start early is essential. Why are we starting in a college and beyond? Why are we not starting in high school? It should be the platform for every single classroom.
Now, have you all earned any certifications or working on any currently?
Yes, we both are QuickBooks and entrepreneurship certified.
Okay, and then do you plan on using those certifications later on or even currently? And then also you can explain to us, Ms. Choppa, for your students, why is it valuable to earn those certifications while still in high school?
Yes, so we're going to be using that we're both going in the business world, and that's something required in every business. And as you were mentioning, being able to have that at such a young age is so fundamental, and it looks great on your resumes as well. So yes, we will be using both of those.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I'm going to marketing and QuickBooks is more so of the accounting side, it's still something really good to have on my resume and something that really like sets me apart from other candidates applying for the same job that I'm applying for. So that alone, the certifications, it's like, oh, like this student has it, this person doesn't. Like maybe she's more qualified, maybe she's more credible. So therefore, that would make us that would show better on our resume and make us
Stand out.
Stand out more. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know both of you are really active, on Treasure Coast High School campus, but also in your community. Can you share just a little bit about yourself and how what you're involved in, whether it's special programs, special clubs, sports, or whatnot?
So I'm actually starting a nonprofit. So we send and donate clothes and toys to families in need in Colombia. We've been starting to get into that. There's so many communities that have been reaching out to us, and we're gathering people to start that nonprofit. And we've been doing that since I was little. I've always sent out and helped out the poverty in Colombia. And besides that, I work. That's what else I'm involved in. I'm working. I'm in school, and yeah, looking for new opportunities.
Actually, based on what Julie said, my family also does that. So we give back to families back in Vietnam that are struggling from poverty. And then for Treasure Coast High School, I am senior class president. I'm the parliamentarian for FBLA. I play 2 sports, which is beach volleyball and indoor volleyball. I'm a member of National Honor Society, and I'm also part of the Youth Advisory Council. And all of that was also a reflection based off of Miss Choppa's academy, because being who I am today, all of that blossomed within my junior year. My sophomore year, I was not the same person, and the reason being was because of Miss Choppa and her class. It's what brought out the confidence in me and made me feel like I could do anything I put my mind to.
Yes, you really grow. You really grow as a person, and you learn, and you get to mature. Like looking at yourself from where you started and where you've come up to, whole new person.
Are there any recommendations that you would offer to any future students or even someone maybe considering the program?
Just try it. That's it, just try it. You never know where it'll take you. Because going to this academy, I didn't know what this class would offer me or what I would gain from this class. But what I've learned from this class was just, really the world is your playground. It doesn't matter what you think, because you will find out your calling within this academy. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted my career to be in. And then when I came to this academy, I realized I don't have to have it all figured out. But one thing I really realized was that I was not an accounting person. And like Ms. Choppa says, figuring out what I don't want to do, 50% of the whole thing. So now I have the other 50% to figure out what I really want to do with my future.
Even if you're not a business major, it doesn't matter. This academy is fundamental in every aspect. It doesn't medical, if you want to be a real estate, whatever, it doesn't matter. It teaches you so much about the real world, and the scholarship, the college aspect. That's something that a lot of kids don't have, that foundation at home. And being able to obtain that now and having the help and having the leaders to help you, it's super important, super important.
And at the end of the day, everything's business. So it's you're not losing anything by joining the academy, but you're gaining so much.
And if there's anyone that wants us watching this, they're like, hey, I want to get more involved to learn more about the program, or maybe I want to get more involved and donate or help out with the causes that you all have mentioned, how can they do that?
Contact me at Treasure Coast High School, 100%.
Okay.
Choppa Nation is a mindset. And so it's the foundation of building the trajectory of your life. And if you're exposed early and believe in yourself early, that's going to bring clarity. Clarity is then going to bring success. And through everything, all their leadership roles that they have, as they said, they've changed in the last 2 years. That's what we expect from education. As a parent, as someone who has been teaching for many years, that's what education should be. And our workforce, as well as our community, that's what they should want.
All right, so before we transition to the next segment with part of your program still, is there anything else that you all would like to add?
I would just like to say that overall, whoever's interested, I 100% encourage them to join this academy. It's so beneficial. Being able to have Ms. Choppa along our side is something that I will never forget. She has impacted all of us so much, and I thank her so much.
Yeah.
It's all to her, and I'm so happy and I'm so honored to be part of her legacy.
It all starts with one teacher, and that one teacher for us was Ms. Choppa. And she was the one who really showed us, I care, I will listen. Just whatever you needed, anything, she would drop everything, she would listen to you, and it was so far beyond business, because it was more so she was a great mentor, she was a great leader, and I've heard many, many times, all it takes is one leader to create many great leaders, and that is quite literally Ms. Choppa.
And that's what we need. That's why we need to reach out to the community. That's why businesses need to get involved, and mentorship needs to happen. there's only one of me, and so I need St. Lucie County to step up and be partners with us.
Okay. And then would you recommend students to get involved in high school and not wait until college to start,
I
saying
recommend
this is what I
students
wanna
get
do?
involved in elementary school. Like, we should go younger, so if you need me to create that curriculum and framework, I will. But yes, again, early exposure begins that belief system, that confidence, and that's part of that whole mindset to bring out that clarity. And then accessibility is give them access to things. They're going to thrive.
Right.
Whatever expectation you put out there, they will match. And so I have exceptionally high expectations.
Yeah, and just to add, because I know we're a part of that Classroom to Careers initiative with Dr. Prince, and I know that was one of the foundations of it. It's like starting earlier.
Yes.
Like our students at the elementary level, they're getting career exposure. 8th grade year, middle school year, high school. So that way they're not waiting until high school to decide what I want to do, or senior year in high school to say, oh, maybe I should have thought about this earlier on, or I didn't know that existed. So that is definitely needed. So thank you for highlighting that. As we've seen, the International Business Program helps students develop skills that prepare them for diverse career opportunities. But real-world success also comes from strong partnerships between the schools and community organizations. In this next segment, we'll explore how collaboration with the St. Lucie County Property Appraiser's Office is giving students meaningful exposure to local government, public service, and business operations. Welcome. All right, Ms. Choppa, thank you again for joining us back. All right, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Franklin, St. Lucie County Property Appraiser.
Hi, my name is Colin Mitchell. I'm a student in Ms. Choppa's business program, and I also did an internship for Michelle Franklin.
Okay. So, Honorable Franklin, can you share what the Property Appraiser's Office does, and how does the work impact not only businesses, homeowners, and also our community?
Sure, I'd love to. So we have three main functions at the Property Appraiser's Office. Number one is to value all property in St. Lucie County each and every January 1. So that's about 190,000 real estate parcels. And then we administer exemptions. So most people are familiar with the homestead exemption. We actually have over 100 different types of exemptions on the tax roll. And then our third main function is that we're the official mapper of St. Lucie County. So we're constantly tracking mapping of the land and who the ownership of that land.
Okay. And why is it important for our students to understand, the basics behind that business and that operation?
Well, I think it's important for students as well as adults to understand the relationship between business and government. Additionally, I believe that Colin learned a little bit about the Property Appraiser's Office, so he's probably more prepared for home ownership than other young people who are not aware of the Property Appraiser's Office and exactly what we do.
Okay. And Colin, go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually got some insight into home ownership, as well as when I was in Ms. Choppa's class, I got to do a business plan and really see the whole process with it. And in the financial aspect, you have to see the whole thing with property, right? How that affects into your business expenses. And being in Michelle's property appraiser, right? I really got to see how that factors in, how that correlates, right? So just how the expenses work, how they get appraised, exemptions and all that. So it was really nice to see.
Okay. And Honorable Franklin, can you explain, just tell us a little bit about, having Colin work alongside you and your staff members, but also interns. Why is it important to have interns a part of your company or your business?
Well, personally, I was elected into office 9 years ago, and that very first year, I hired interns, high school and college. Each and every summer we've done at least 1 or 2 high school students as well as college students. And again, it's back to just an awareness. I think in general, when you think about government, oftentimes people immediately tense up and like, oh no, I've got to walk into this government building. I don't fully understand what I'm there for or what's needed. So giving them the opportunity to see that government is here to assist, as well as the opportunity to see what is going on in government. Most people aren't aware that our GIS department, has drones. And so sometimes when I go into high schools and we talk about drones, they perk up. Like, wait, what? Drones? I would like to pilot a drone. So there are many aspects to government, including working with social media so that we can get information out to residents that the average young student doesn't necessarily think about.
And then, Ms. Choppa, when you look at, hearing this from Honorable Franklin and Colin, how does this reflect back on your program? And then, the experiences and opportunities that you're saying, hey, students, you all need to get involved.
Well, I think we build citizens. So not only do we build local citizens, we build global citizens. And it starts at the local level. So thank you for having our interns. We have, with Choppa Nation, we have had students that have been in St. Lucie County Finance Department, at the EDC. So I think beginning in government and beginning in your local community is where internships should start. I absolutely commend you for having some. Let me know if you need more. And I would reach out to anyone to say, don't we want to build in education productive citizens? Isn't that the #1 goal? And in order to do that, they need to experience it. And again, the experience and understanding with your financial literacy makes you, a better citizen, because now you're not only economically able to make good decisions. Thank you for so much that you do. And as an educator, I mean, we just go hand in hand.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Franklin, are there other opportunities or even future opportunities? So like, let's say Colin says, hey, I want to come back as an intern. Do you offer future opportunities maybe like this summer?
Colin actually is coming back this summer, I believe. So I think we've already squared that one away. But yes, absolutely. When we have a young professional like Colin who shows up on time and willing to learn, we're halfway there, right?
Right.
And so Colin was very open to coaching, and so I think he enjoyed it last year. I won't speak for Colin, but before he left last year, we talked about options for this year.
Okay. And then I know you're part of the St. Lucie Public Schools summer internship. Will that be happening again? And then also, how can students get involved?
So we're a small office, so we can only take 1 or 2 each summer. But I believe, we've kind of worked closely with Boys and Girls Club and the EDC, so I'm not sure how all of the students necessarily got involved, but we also accept applications individually through our office. But I would encourage them to reach out to Ms. Choppa directly, St. Lucie County Public Schools and the Economic Development Council.
Okay, perfect.
I have a QR code in my classroom with flyers and
excellent.
right on the table. Everybody, every single class, everyone knows this is what you're going to get. This is this. So apply.
What about the students that aren't in your class, just out of curiosity?
Guidance has those as well, so it's school-wide.
Okay.
I just push, obviously, more experience while you're in high school to get as much underneath your belt, because like Vivian said previously, knowing what you don't want to do is 50% of knowing what you do want to do. And creating that passion and everything together is just going to make better, well-rounded, successful, positive citizens. That's what we want.
Agreed.
So I know, just to add, St. Lucie Public Schools summer internship program, it is open to all junior and seniors who want to participate, but also they can go to their school counselors on their campus or their career coaches, which is myself, Dr. Robinson, or Mr. Platt. So we will gladly help register students in for the application process as well. Okay. All right. So if we were to look at what advice do you have for students who are interested in careers in public service or business operations, real estate, what kind of, recommendations or advice do you have for them?
I think you've kind of already hit on it. Get started early. So reach out. Call directly any local government office. I work with a ton of real estate offices. They're always looking for help. And so I think reaching out directly and saying, I'm interested, can I shadow you for a day? Is there a summer internship? You can kind of start small and build from there. Amazing, just asking the question, amazing what responses you can get.
Okay. So Colin, what advice do you have for students who are looking at, hey, you know what, maybe I'm considering an internship, or I would like to do more to learn about my future career. Would you recommend, and also what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I would recommend it 100%, and I would really go into it with an open mind, right? Don't be scared going into it, and really just go in there to learn, because that's what this whole thing is about. That's what the whole internship is about, bettering yourself. And not only did I better my soft skills when I was with Michelle Franklin, but I also just learned the principle of important things, like showing up on time, right? And just having a good work ethic. And so I really think my experience really helped open my eyes.
Okay, and this question's for all 3 of you. Why is it important for having these alliances? Why is it important to have that connection between community and the schools? So we'll start here with Ms. Choppa.
I think that Colin started to touch on that with these whole 21st century skills that, and soft skills and all of that, reliability, communication, collaboration, all of that, the earlier the better, again, because then you have all of these experiences that you can pull from. Just within like our classroom, that cultural competency, you know, when you're creating businesses or working with others, you're going to have different customers, different employees. So all of this is the foundation for, again, making positive, fabulous citizens that we need.
I would wholeheartedly agree and tack on just to say, you know, a common phrase, knowledge is power, right? So the more knowledge you have about your community, it will benefit you in the future.
And I think it's like a pipeline in St. Lucie County, right? All the students from high school are going to be going into jobs feeding directly into St. Lucie County. So I think it's really great to be able to just see that whole process.
Okay, amazing. Are there any final thoughts as we prepare to close, or any final thoughts or any information that you still want to provide to the community that wasn't yet hit on?
You want to start with me?
Yes.
Okay. So I, again, would just say that students become your self-advocate. Like, have that choice, have that voice, take that ownership, and do those job shadows early. 8th grade parents, if you're listening, have your children reach out, because even if they go different places and find out they don't want to do something, they'll find it. They'll find different paths that they are passionate about and want to continue on with.
Absolutely. I'll use this to plug. If they have questions regarding the Property Appraiser's Office, you can learn more at paslc.gov. We're here to assist, and of course, we're looking forward to this year as well and another intern.
Okay.
And I would just like to emphasize how much these two experiences have helped me out. Ms. Choppa's class, just the skills I built and seeing how that actually applies in the real world to Michelle and her property appraiser's office, and I'm really happy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Honorable Franklin, for joining me.
My
Ms.
pleasure.
Choppa, Colin, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right. From classroom instruction to hands-on work experiences, today's episode highlights how the International Business Program at Treasure Coast High School empowers students to shape their future. Through strong partnerships like the collaboration with the St. Lucie County Property Appraiser's Office, students gain the knowledge, confidence, and real-world exposure needed to thrive in today's global marketplace. Thank you for joining us on #BuildAFuture.
Thank you.